What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Superhero Broly figure. As you can see, we got the packaging right here. Looks really good. Obviously got a nice picture of Broly right there. Looks fantastic. Really cool there. The Dragon Ball superhero stuff right there. The Broly superhero. Just a little more text on the side there. Flipping on the other side, some nice product shots of Broly here. You can see right there. Nothing too crazy, but does look nice. And then finally, you have your obligatory product shots of all of the stuff that this guy comes with and what he looks like. Pretty simple. Nothing too much about this figure that is absolutely crazy. So without further ado, I think that's it for the packaging. Again, there's not too much to talk about with it, so let's get into the actual figure. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have Broly in all of his glory. I didn't even intend for that to rhyme, but here he is. I do like this. I think he looks really good. I do think that the face sculpt, as you can see, does look really nice. I do think it's a slight bit better than what we got with the Broly movie SH Figuarts Broly figures. I do think this looks very nice. You got some nice molded in, obviously the musculature and everything like that. Got some more stuff down here. Got the cape, obviously from the monster that his dad ended up killing and not letting him be friends with. Got that very nice molded in detail right there. Really cool, all that stuff. Obviously the legs, very nicely molded as well. Look extremely muscular. Very similar to like how we had the original SH Figuarts ones. Nothing too crazy. The only thing about this figure that sort of gets me, that disappoints me, is there's not too much paint. I wish that there was shading like here and maybe in some of the musculature here and all that other stuff, but unfortunately there just really isn't that much like extra paint or effort given into this. And obviously, in my opinion, part of the reason I think they're selling this is obviously there's the one funny scene in the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, definitely recommend go watching that. It's a really funny movie, and it's a good movie. I think it is. I do think that the original Broly movie is still a better movie, but Superhero was really good. But overall, and this does look fantastic. The only issue again I have is there's no shading. There's like literally nothing. If we look at the hands here, I mean, there's no shading in the fists or anything like that. There's nothing on the face. Again, the face looks good, but there's nothing on the face. It's nicely detailed. The hair does look good as well. I mean, you can't deny that. But I mean, just looking else around this figure, there really isn't like, it's not crazy. And I'm gonna admit the only reason I personally picked this guy up is because I want a base form Broly. In my display. And that's what we'll talk about towards the end. So I guess with this guy, the thing we're going to probably just get into right away, because there's not too much to talk about if you also have the other Broly figures, is their articulation, which obviously this is going to be good because figure art stuff is generally usually very good. So the head is on the ball joint, so you do get like the classic. You do have one at the neck, so you do get like the giggity. You can do a full 360, which is very nice. You can look down about that much, which is really good. You can look up not so much because of the hair blocks it, but you can look up a teeny bit, not too much though, but really it's just the down that's really nice. For the shoulders, you do have a butterfly joint, which is really good. You get a wicked butterfly joint, which is really crazy. I do like that very much. Then you come to here, you do get a full 360 here. You do get a bicep rotation here as well. You do get more than 90 degrees at the elbow as well, and then the wrists are on ball joints as well, so you do get like that far up, that far down. You do get the full 360. Yeah, just the standard on that. For the ab crunch, you do get a pretty wicked ab crunch, so you can go about forward this far, and then I think you can get back really far as well, like so. Decently far. Not too bad until you start to sort of expose the inside, but you do get some decent back as well. Waist articulation is kind of like non-existent because of the way that the cape is. The way that the skirt, I guess you would call it, is the first skirt is. You can see that's how it's essentially attached, is here. But if you do remove this, at least you get this out of the way, you can get a little bit here at the upper part, but nothing like at the actual, like you get very little here. You can see how much there is. Again, you get the full 360 up here, but that's about it for the waist. For the legs, you do get kick about that far, maybe a little farther if you push it. I wouldn't want to push it because to bend this, but removing this, moving this up, you do get this far back. You get thigh rotation as well. You do get double jointed knee, so you do get a pretty nice knee bend, but it is just about 90, and then ankle rocker. There isn't too much, but you do also get forward like this and up. You know, forward down like this and then up as well a little bit. So again, articulation is solid. Not amazing. Obviously, Broly is a very bulky character. You know, one of the biggest. He's a humanoid character. He's not Earthling, but I would consider him like a human character. And at the end of the day, he's, if I'm not mistaken, he's actually like about Piccolo's height and then even bigger when he gets into his legendary Super Saiyan 4. So for some comparisons, I only have a few for other characters at the moment, but what we'll do, we'll set Broly off to the side here. So here is the superhero Broly. Here we have the Dragon Ball Superhero SH Figuarts Vegeta, Dragon Ball Superhero SH Figuarts Vegeta, and yeah, this scales really well. I mean, Vegeta is a tiny character. In all reality, he's a short guy, so this I think scales perfectly well together, and this is how I'd imagine that Vegeta and Broly would stand next to each other. All right, and for like a Goku-esque comparison, here we have the SH Figuarts Turles. And I got to say that this is about, again, how I would see like Goku and Broly scaling with each other. This makes perfect sense to me. Yes, this is technically a different figure altogether, but at the same time, it shares a lot with Goku. So at the end of the day, this is a bit bulkier than Goku, but Turles is going to be the same height. So you can imagine this is Goku. This is about how tall he would be in comparison to Broly, and I think that this scales really nicely together. And for one final major comparison, here we have the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Superhero Broly with his two counterparts from the Broly movie, both of the SH Figuarts versions. And I have to say the one difference that you notice right away is the purple in the legs. The purple of the legs is completely different from this. This is more closer to like a magenta-ish color. This is more of a dark violet. This is closer to a violet than anything else. And the other thing that we'll zoom in on here, let's take a look at these. You can see, we'll try and zoom in. You can see the differences in the faces here in terms of the paint. The eyebrows on this are much more prominent in the eyes. Obviously, the eyes on this one, this guy here, are meant to replicate his wrath state, right? So they have the little red in them. But for the most part, I do think that this face sculpt is more well done compared to this one. Yes, I do have the other faces for this guy, but they're locked in storage somewhere because this is how I have this guy displayed. So I'm sorry I can't bring that out for you right away, but at the least I still do think that this guy has technically the better painted face. And then if we bring in, oh whoops, don't want to drop that guy. Don't want to knock over my whole review. But if you can see here, I do think that this is really nice. These two are kind of hard to compare because obviously this is completely different. But just so you can see, overall, still, I do think that this figure has cadence, but we're going to talk about that in a few minutes when we get into after we get through the accessories. But yeah, here's a comparison between the three of them. This guy is slightly, like, if you put them head to head, they are the same height. Just the hair makes this guy taller. I wish they kind of made a middle stage, which was a little bit bigger, but shorter than this guy. I don't know. I still do think that this has its cadences and reasoning for you to buy it. So we'll get into that here in a sec. So let's get into the accessories. Alrighty, so getting into the guys' accessories, let's start off with this one. So this one, very interesting. This is a new hairpiece for Gohan. It's more like a wavy one. Nothing too crazy, just one that makes it look like he's like his hair is in the wind or being powered up by his ki. So nothing too crazy. I do think it looks nice, but I don't think it's all that necessary. But I am happy that they're essentially, if you're going to get something like this figure, you're most likely going to get the other ones in the same line for the superhero movie. So it is very nice that they include accessories for other figures. But the only thing is if you don't have the figure, it's kind of a bust. So if you do have the Gohan, this is a nice accessory to have for him. I just don't think it's absolutely the best one out of the extra ones that we've received, especially like the ones from the Gammas. So setting that off to the side here, we have two sets of alternate hands and one alternate alternate hand. Just I believe it's the right hand as well. Yes, the right hand. So first off, we have the blast effect hands. Nothing too crazy. Just the regular blast hands. Or other posing hands, stuff like that. But you can use these for however. But yeah, these nice hands. They're again very standard, very similar to the ones we got with the original Broly Figuarts ones. Next, we have the pair of sort of like grippy, like fighting pose hands. These are always nice. I do think that they look very cool. Other than that, though, there's nothing too crazy about them. Again, just very similar to the ones that we got on the original figures as well. You have nice molded in fingernails, if you guys can see that. That is very nice, which is really cool. And then finally, we do have this alternate hand. As they show on the box, this is sort of this is a like just a random pose that I believe he does in the film, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, nice alternate hand, as you can see here on the box. We'll take a look at it again. That is the pose that they have this hand that goes with it, so you can see it right there. So finally, the last ones are the faces, and he comes with 3 separate faces. And so the first one we'll take a look at here. They're very nicely painted. Again, I think that these are better than the ones that we received with the original Figuarts ones. You have like an angry face, classic Broly, almost classic Broly, but obviously angry face looks really good. Getting in here, we also have the angry yelling face, a classic Dragon Ball one. Can't go wrong with this one. And then finally, a really funny one, and my favorite one is this this crying one as a comedic from the comedic scene in the superhero movie. It's a really funny face that they didn't need to add. It's completely unnecessary, but they did add this as sort of one of its selling points, so it's very, very cool otherwise. But yeah, really nice faces. I think that they're all well done. Not too many accessories, which is a bit of a shame, but at the end of the day, it is still a very nicely done figure overall. Continuing on to end off the accessories section, I'd like to just show you how to remove the faces if you'd like to replace them. Obviously for the hands, it's as simple as just pulling these off and then putting on the new ones. But for the face, just so you guys understand, what I like to do is sort of pull on his chin here. It sort of loosens up everything, and then you can just pull this right off. Just like any Dragon Ball Figuarts that we've seen before, you just pull these off, and then you have the pegs here for the holes here for the hair, and then you just have the 2 pegs on the back of the face. You can see right there for these 2 pegs here, this one and this one. So let's say you want to put on the angry yelling face, you can just plug it in like that, and take the hair, and you can see the pegs there for it. You can see the 3, right? And you can see the 3 holes in there, so you just plug that in, and there we have Broly with his yelling face. So, at the end of the day, do I recommend picking this guy up, and what would I give him out of a 10? I do, at the end of the day, recommend picking this guy up. I do think that he is good, especially for those of you who weren't able to get the original Figuarts Broly figures from, like, the Broly movie. But the thing is if you have those original ones, then it's kind of a little harder for me to recommend this. And the reason being is because there isn't painting, there isn't shading, there isn't like a ton of really crazy new stuff about this. The only really amazing thing that you get that I think is really cool is you just get this face right here, which is really funny, but you don't get really anything else with this guy. And for me, the only reason I personally picked this guy up is because I want him for a base form Broly. So if you're looking for a base form Broly and you do want to display the other 2 forms of Broly that we've seen, like in the Broly movie, then this is a figure that you can get. But for me personally, I can't necessarily recommend it if you already have those other figures. So out of 10, I'm going to give this a 7. Reason being is it's good. It's just like there's not a lot of accessories. If you have the other Broly figures, it's hard to justify necessarily getting this guy. And there's no shading or anything like that on this guy. There's no insanely nicely insane paint detail on this. And I get they're trying to make it a little more affordable. At the end of the day, yeah, those are my thoughts. I do think that, again, if you're looking for a base form Broly and you have the other 2 and you want to display those forms, then go ahead and pick this guy up. But if you already have those 2 figures and you're not looking to add another Broly to your collection, or you don't deem it necessary, then this is one that you can probably skip out on. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Also follow me on the links, all my socials linked in the description below. And with that, guys, again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, guys. Take care.